What's up guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is my review of the Ford Racing by Borla Sport Catback exhaust fitting your 2015 and up EcoBoost Mustang. This catback from Ford Racing is going to be for the S550 EcoBoost owners out there that are looking for a high quality catback that gives a throaty exhaust tone. This catback is going to eliminate the factory resonator and replace it with just a Y pipe that leads down to the straight through sport mufflers. And this setup is going to give a sound that isn't replicated by the other catbacks for the EcoBoost, as you guys already heard from the sound clips. So like I mentioned, this catback is going to eliminate the factory resonator and replace it with the standard Y pipe. Removing this resonator is going to have a bunch of performance benefits. You're looking at sound and power improvements and even some weight benefits. This catback is 30 pounds lighter than the factory catback, so that's just a nice little bonus that you get from swapping over to the system. And unlike some of the other EcoBoost catback options out there, this system actually bumps up the size of the piping. You'll be going from a 2¼ inch system to a 2½ inch system, and you're also looking at a full stainless steel mandrel-bent catback. The system that we have on the table here with me has 4-inch chrome stainless steel tips, but Ford Racing also has a version of the same catback that ends in black painted stainless steel tips. Both options will have the Ford Racing logo embossed on the tips, so you won't be losing anything one way or the other. But just a heads up that the black tipped version is going to cost a little bit more than the polished version will. As usual here guys, stainless steel is always a great option for the cars that see all different types of road conditions, since it is going to offer corrosion resistance. Guys, it's no secret when I say that the main component of the catback is going to be the mufflers, and in this case we're looking at a set of straight through sport mufflers. The Y pipe is going to open up exhaust flow for the sport mufflers, which are known for a loud and throaty exhaust note, which you already heard in the sound clips. The combination of the Y pipe and the sport mufflers creates a deeper than stock tone that isn't too loud, and it also doesn't have any drone at highway speeds. Ford Racing describes the sound of this catback as loud, aggressive, and throaty, and I definitely don't disagree with that description. The sport mufflers give more of a raw sound when you compare it to other options that focus more on a tuned sound. There is some popping on decel with this catback if that's a characteristic of an aftermarket exhaust that you like. This system does have some rasp too, but it's not too much at all. One thing I did notice, however, is that this system is loud, but you don't get as much turbo noise as I've heard with some other options that are out there. You can hear some spoiling in there, but that's about it. So if the turbo noise is something that you're really after, there are some other options on the site that really open up a lot of that noise. This system does give more of a smooth exhaust note when you compare it to other exhaust notes, but it isn't very deep. Like I said, it has more of a loud and throaty note than a deep note or even a raspy note. You have to keep in mind that this is a 4-cylinder turbo car. It's not going to sound like a V8, so if you're looking for more of that clean, deep type of sound, there are some other options that might suit you better than this one right here. Now guys, if we compare this to the factory, we're going to notice a huge difference all the way around. It's deeper than stock and without a doubt more aggressive, and even though it isn't the cleanest sound that I've heard for a catback, there isn't a lot of distortion in the sound, even in the higher RPMs. Another nice thing about this catback is that there's no interior drone at cruising speed, so you won't have to worry about hearing that when you're at cruising speed or when you're driving around with your windows up. It is going to be on the louder side of the scale for the EcoBoost Mustang, so I'm going to give it a 3 or 3.5, maybe a weak 4 out of 5 on the loudness scale. There are a handful of different options when it comes to catbacks for the S550 EcoBoost at this point in time, and this means different types of sounds as well as different price ranges. You've got your choice of high-end offerings as well as choices for those that do not want to spend that much. Ford Racing is going to be one of the high-end offerings. Ford Racing is legendary for its quality, so if that's something you're concerned with, you're shopping in the right place. We did talk about two catbacks, one with black tips and one with polished tips, and they're going to have a slight price difference, but we're only talking about $50 here. The chrome tip option is going to be on the less expensive side, while the black tip option is going to be more expensive, which is typical. Either way, you're looking at spending between $1,330 and $1,380, depending on which version of this catback you choose to go with. When it comes to the install, you're going to be looking at an easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on the scale when we look at difficulty. This is considered a direct bolt-on item, so you won't need to cut anything or modify anything to get it installed. All that you're really going to need is a socket set, and a lift would certainly make things easier, but the job can be done on stands as well. You're going to be removing the exhaust from the resonator back, and an extra set of hands can make things easier for you here. You will be moving over your hangers to the new catback, so I'd recommend taking them off with the factory exhaust when you drop that. It'll just make the swap a little bit easier. The only other thing you'll reuse is the front clamp off of the resonator for the front of the new catback. The whole catback can be dropped as one big piece, which is why an extra set of hands can really help here. And when you go to install your new setup, it'll probably be easiest to start from the front and move back. So install the Y mid-pipe area first, then the intermediate pipes and the muffler assemblies, and I'd leave everything loose until you have it all lined up and then tighten it down. The catback does come with 4 new clamps, so you won't have to worry about picking those up, and you can figure on spending about an hour or 2 from start to finish to get this all done. Overall, the Ford Racing by Borla Sport Catback is going to replace the factory resonator with a Y pipe that will ultimately drop some weight and open up both exhaust flow and power. The catback features straight-through sport mufflers and gives a loud, throaty exhaust note, but without any interior drone. It's also a step up to a 2.5-inch catback that comes complete and is a direct bolt-on install that requires no cutting. You can check this catback out some more online for yourself, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.